Hey everyone, I'm Michael Manrique, and I'm one of the Habit Guys. We teach realtors prospecting habits so they finally become top producing agents. And welcome to the Realtor Habits Podcast, where agents don't need more stuff, they need better habits. Before we get into today's episode, I want to let you know this episode is brought to you by our Habit Guys Facebook group. We all want to prospect consistently and be more organized. Well, to do that, we need to think, do, and act like a top producer. Watch us prospect live and teach you every week for free in our free Facebook group how to get more expireds, FSBOs listings, how to connect with your sphere, learn what to say over the phone to not sound salesy, and instead learn to make friends. Watch all the highs and lows that come with live prospecting and ask questions and get answers in real time. All you have to do is visit us at www.habitguys.com/Facebook. Again, that's habitguys.com/Facebook and learn all the skills top producers use in their day-to-day business. If you know anyone that can gain value from this podcast, please do us a huge favor and share it with them. We're here to help as many realtors as possible, and we appreciate your help to do so. All right, let's get into today's episode. Today's episode is the best attention-grabbing strategy dominating 2024. We have an interview here with Curtis Fenn. Curtis Fenn is the current president and COO of RedX. RedX is a technology company that helps real estate agents develop sustainable growth with the best tools and practices for acquiring new clients. We here at the Habit Guys appreciate RedX and what they do specifically because of their interface. We feel that they, out of all the dialer companies, they provide the best user experience, which in turns, because it's not only the best, but in more importantly, it's the easiest way to acquire information and then make connections. Because it's the easiest and it's the best user experience out of all the dialing systems out there, it's the one that's going to lead to you making prospecting a habit much better than the rest. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into this episode, and I'm sure you're going to get a ton of value.
All right, guys, so let's get into this podcast and welcome Curtis. Hey, Curtis, how you doing today?
Very good. Happy to be here with you guys.
Awesome. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. So as we get started, if you could just kind of introduce yourself. I know I gave an introduction, but just mention like where you're at right now and what you're doing with RedX.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Curtis, president of RedX, and I've been here for going on 18 years this summer. So a long time in the industry, a long time, enough to see the crash in '08 and what happened there, and enough to see what's going on with COVID and higher interest rates. And so a lot of different markets, and yeah, I've been around for a while. So right now we are just helping agents stay focused on getting listings, which is more prevalent now than ever with everything going on in our industry. Is that you got to list to win, and list to last is the saying everybody says. So if you want to build a profitable, predictable business, it's about getting listings, and that's what we've been doing for 18 years.
Yeah, we need to make shirts that say that, right? Can we make shirts that say that?
Absolutely.
List to last? That would be awesome.
So yeah, so that's another thing, right? Like talking about the crash when everyone saw this NAR settlement, people were like jumping out from ceilings and saying, "Oh, it's over, and everything's gonna change."
Yeah.
And what do we do now? So so Curtis, like what specific like tips or strategies using RedX's system do you think best helps people locate those listing opportunities?
And actually, before you answer that, can you give a 101 version of what RedX is? Because I'm sure some listeners are like, what the heck is RedX?
Oh yeah, sure. So RedX is a lead conversion company. So we've been in the industry for a long time. We start with expired listings and finding contact information for expireds, and FSBOs and pre-foreclosures, and all kinds of high intent lists of people who are going to list in the next 90 to 180 days. And then we have all kinds of marketing and conversion tools to help you get their attention so that you can turn them into business. So was that good enough? Was that enough?
Well done. Perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
For that one listener who has no idea who RedX is.
No idea. that means they're new in the industry if they haven't heard of Red X yet. So just ask your top producing agent in your office where they get a lot of their listings from, and then it'll be Red X. With the NAR settlement, everybody went crazy. Our customers didn't, right? Because it was all on the buy side, and most people are listening to what is going on in the news, right? I mean, the news is just having a heyday with their fear-mongering headlines. When they're taking so much liberty that it's just it's not even stretching the truth. It's just false about what those headlines are saying. But we're seeing it, right? I mean, we're seeing it because we're in the industry, but most of your clients and potential clients are not seeing it. They're not even reading those articles. It's just not as big of a thing out of our industry as it is in our industry. Now, I'm not saying it's not a big deal. Like, there's a lot of changes that need to happen, and the way that people are doing business currently needs to change. But change is good. And those of us that are going to innovate around the change and figure out strategic and innovative ways to continue to grow our business are the ones that are going to win. But part of that strategy is just not worrying about the buy side as much, and build the inventory, and build the inventory so that people are coming to you, and that you're representing the listings that are on the market, because that's how you build a predictable business. So people are using Red X, all the way from expireds, and people, the fallacy with expireds is people think expireds is synonymous with cold calling. But if you forget about how you contact the person, just think about an expired listing. They want to sell their home. They're willing to pay a commission. They've been trying to sell their home. It didn't sell, right? And whether they listed with an agent for 90 days or 180 days, it didn't get sold. So they're in a state where there's higher urgency. They're often now more willing to look at pricing more strategically, because they go, okay, I guess the price I really wanted is not realistic. So on average, an expired listing will relist within 35 days, and over half.
Crazy, by the way.
Yeah,
When I saw those numbers, Curtis, that's crazy.
it's crazy. On average, they'll relist within 35 days, and over half of them will relist with a new agent. So if an agent's going around, well, where do I get listings? Well, pull up how many expireds there's been in the last 24 months in your marketplace, and look at how many listing opportunities there were to be the second to list, but the first one to get it sold, right? That's a lot of commission. And so now, but there's a lot of ways you can work those listings. And I think that really, Mike, plays into more of your question. What are people doing right now? And people are taking a multi-pronged approach, and which is fun for me. My background is marketing. So people are just doing marketing, which is, how many ways can I get your attention so that that you're paying attention to me, so that I can deliver the right message to you that resonates with where you're at. And so people aren't just picking up the phone, they're knocking on doors. They're doing social media targeting, which RedX can help you with the custom audiences, and do social media targeting to the expired listings. They're doing postcards, which is something that maybe we'll get into a little deeper here on the podcast. But they're doing postcard campaigns, and they're getting their attention in multiple ways. So, and that's what they're doing to get the listings.
Which, by the way, Curtis, I'm currently creating an ad right now. We have a live event in South Florida, and I'm doing an ad, and we're going to run it to all the South Florida agents. That's why we love your guys' platform, because it makes making an ad so easy. Because if you try to make an ad in Facebook Ads Manager, oh my gosh, it's just a whole different language.
Yeah.
So, and what I love about you guys is you can target specific people, as opposed to being a generic radius, and you don't even know if that ad is going to the right person. Now you can actually specifically target, right, as a realtor, for sell by owners, expireds, exact people, and we're going to exact agents, because we're loading all that information into RedX. And I know those exact agents are going to see my ad. And
That's right.
Agents listening to this, man, can you imagine your expireds or for sell by owners actually see an ad from you with your face talking to them, And this is stuff that we teach and talk about in our coaching where we say, hey, do a FSBO ad talking about, hey, FSBO, I want to help you sell your property without a realtor. Boom, you get their attention, and you make a PDF document that gives them tips on how to sell it without a realtor. Then you become the I was thinking about FSBro. You're the FSBro, right? And the R is realtor or owner. How great would that be, Curtis? By the way, be a FSBro. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
the
pretty good.
FSBro,
It's a
right? For
FSBro.
sell by
All right, I'm
realtor
in.
or owner, right?
You put up with this guy, Mike, all day?
Oh, I think I'm onto something. No, I'm your FSBro. You'll sell it with the realtor or on
Yeah.
your own, but you're
Yeah.
gonna sell it.
Yeah.
So the
Well,
bottom-
and what you're talking about though is goes back to Mike's question. This is what the top agents are doing is if you can get really specific to connect with where someone is at, especially with the emotions that they're experiencing. So using a FSBO, NAR does this research every single year where they tell you like the top 10 things the top 10 things FSBOs struggle with in selling their home. So you could Google that right now. It's like the quick field guide stats, FSBO, and you'll probably pull up NAR's page. And all 10 of those things, if those are the top 10 things that FSBOs are struggling with, imagine an ad that spoke to those top 10 things. A video that you're doing. Well, that's the emotional state that they're in. An expired listing, they're frustrated. Often they're embarrassed because they've told everybody in their neighborhood we're moving. They said goodbye, and they've prepared their neighbors, and then the sign comes down. Like they're embarrassed of what's going on. And so if there's an ad and they're scrolling through Instagram at night, because that's what we do, and they're scrolling through Instagram and there's a video that's like, are you frustrated and embarrassed that your home didn't sell? Like they're going to stop. I don't need 7 to 12 touches, which is a fallacy, by the way. Experts are now saying 30 to 50 touches before you make an impression. But but I don't need 30 to 50 touches when it's that relevant to what I'm feeling and experiencing right now. I'm going to pay attention to that ad. I'm going to click. And now if you have something relevant to share with them and to give them, now a relationship has started. And even better yet, then when I pick up the phone or I go knock on the door, they go, "Oh, Mike, Andy, I've seen your videos. Like I know who you are."
Yeah.
Right.
And this is why we love you guys, Curtis, because you make prospecting easy, right? We're the habit coaches, so we make sure you actually use RedX, right? And you guys actually make the prospecting process easier. You're like our gym, right? With all the latest and greatest machines, the best workout equipment, all that, and we're like the personal trainers that are right there making sure they actually use the machines. And so it's powerful. And by the way, anytime, guys, if you're interested in getting RedX, you guys can use our coupon code. Just go to habitguys.com/RedX. That's REDX, and get yourself $150 off coupon to get RedX and all these amazing tools that we're talking about here.
Yeah, and to piggyback off that point, right? Like one of the key pillars of why like we feel that RedX is aligned with habit formation, and the most important habit formation is prospecting when it comes to real estate. Talk to us about what you're doing next to kind of make it easier for realtors to maximize the attention grabbing potential for listings.
I'm sorry. Ask me that one more time.
Oh, so what are you doing next in RedX's? Like, what are you guys working on next to potentially grab, listing or grab the attention of folks out there?
Oh man, you're setting me up here for a good convo here. That's why I missed it so good. I would love to talk about postcards and mailing. And again, I'm a marketer. I love making data-driven decisions and all that. And right now, direct mail has a higher ROI than any other marketing medium out there. Higher than texting right now is a higher ROI.
That's incredible.
And so yeah, I love direct mail. I think it's coming back. I think marketers are going to ruin it. Again, it got ruined before, right? I mean, think of how much junk mail, and then it was like it just didn't work anymore, and everybody shifted because social media was the new thing, and then pretty soon social media, and now texting is the new thing. Well, there's a shift back to direct mail because people aren't getting as much as that of direct mail as they used to, and and your view rate is 100%. Nobody just grabs a pile of mail and throws it in the garbage before looking at every piece before it goes in the garbage, right? And again, back to what we're saying about connecting and with the right message. Imagine sending, if you're just blanket sending a postcard to a bunch of people. I throw away a lot of postcards, a lot of coupons. I throw away a lot of those things that aren't relevant to me. But if I am a distressed property owner in facing foreclosure, and I get a postcard that's relevant to that situation, I I'm gonna think twice before it goes in the garbage. Right. If I'm an expired listing, I get a postcard that says, are you frustrated or embarrassed that your home didn't sell? I'm going to think twice because that is me. Right. And think about the stuff that you click on or consume. It's the stuff that is most relevant to your situation, and especially to your emotional situation. Right. So that's our next big play, Mike, is the postcards. We're in testing right now. We've sent out a lot of postcards. We're tweaking that because if you just send the postcard without a full plan, that won't work either, right? So there needs to be a QR code. You need to engage the person. You need to send them somewhere, give them something of value, so that you're building a brand and reputation throughout that process. And so that is what we're working on. And I'm really excited about it because when you couple that with the social media ad and you couple that with phone calls or door knocking, right? And then all of the sudden, not only do people go, wow, this person is everywhere, but they're everywhere and super relevant to my situation.
Right. So and then to get a little techie here, so if there's a QR code, what information comes back to the user, the end user, the realtor, right, that's using RedX to let them know I need to act on this information?
So that's a little bit of what we're still testing right now because we don't want to have templates that don't convert for people. But for an expired listing, well, for a FSBO, that one is pretty standard. It's exactly what Andy was saying earlier was, hey, here's a checklist of things you need to do to get your home sold, or here's a checklist of how to prepare your home to put it back on the market. So things like that build value. But in doing so, you're also demonstrating your expertise of, hey, as a professional, this is what I would be coming in to help you do. And sometimes those checklists are, work in two ways. People look at it and they go, dang, if he's going to do all that, I'm just going to hire, just going to hire that person, And so that's what we're doing. And then of course the feedback loop. So every time someone scans that QR code and goes to the page to get that checklist, you want to make sure that feedback loop is coming back to you. So it says, hey, Andy, the person at 123 Street just scanned your QR code, so that you can go into the, Vortex, which is our platform, find that person and call them. Right.
Yeah. And not only that, but more realtors are going to feel much more confident making that type of call than with someone that there is no intent of knowing, how specifically you can help them, assist with them. So it's definitely going to increase engagement with that realtor's prospecting effort versus what they're doing now. So
that's right.
I think that's beautiful for sure. Yep. And then I'm also, so imagine that experience, guys. The FSBO gets a mailer, the FSBO scrolling on Facebook, getting an ad, right? They're getting a phone call from you. All these little things start to compound with consistency, right? With our students, you do that for a couple of months, guys. Keyword: months, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Please don't talk to me about something not working after you tried it like for a day, a week or two, a month or two. Stop. Keep trying it out. And that's why with our coaching, we have our students show us the numbers. Like, okay, oh, it doesn't work. Show me your numbers. How many calls did you make, right? Because if you're not making thousands of calls, you're not allowed to complain. Well, you can complain, but it's like going to the gym once and saying that the gym doesn't work, So I'm loving that journey, Curtis, of where you're taking RedX, right? Not just being a one-dimensional, a dialer method. It's just literally Facebook ads, Instagram ads, postcards,
getting ahead of the trends of what you're seeing out there. Because Curtis, I love seeing the data that you guys always compile there at RedX, right? To see like what's working, what's not working. Also short videos, right, that people can do and create like reels and make that happen. So and it's a one-stop shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing I would say, all those things are like tools and resources. But at the end of the day, for most of you realtors out there that are listening to this, that are out of integrity with doing what you know you should be doing, this is the system that will breed confidence within you to allow you to do this again and again and again. And that's how you make prospecting a habit, right? By feeling that progress in what you're doing, by implementing these systems that give you this feedback that tell you that, yes, I am making progress. So this is critical to habit formation, critical to prospecting consistently. So yeah, absolutely. This whole process is something that you must be leveraging at some level in your business.
So if we have time, just give a gift to all the listeners here. We do a lot with short video, like you mentioned, Andy, because making ads without video is not recommended because part of the benefit of making an ad, especially if you're targeting, is so that they see you as the agent in their marketplace. They hear your voice in the marketplace, making it a warm prospect for when you reach out in other ways. And so short video is so important to that. And the number one complaint, or I call it an excuse, the number one excuse people have is, I don't know what to say. I'm afraid of the camera. I've never made this type of video. And so if people go to the App Store on their phone right now and look up RedX Brand Builder, they can download, which is now a free app to their phone.
Android and
iOS. That's right. They can download. It's RedX Brand Builder. RedX Brand Builder. It's red with RedX Brand Builder is the icon. So hopefully you don't get confused. In there, it'll first ask you to create an account through Vortex, which is our platform. So you'll create an account, but on there, then there's a couple of things on here that will help you start making the video to target, which is there's AI scripting. So you can kind of say, hey, I want to make a video for 2 expireds on the number one reason their home didn't sell. It will give you a script. You can hit record. There's a teleprompter then right on your phone that you can record the video and have that video right there on your phone. And so it's there's no cost to that. There is, if you want us to take that video and edit it, or if you want to get the data to then target those videos too, that's where we can jump in and help you. And of course, go to the habitguys.com/RedX. That way you get the coupon code from Mike and Andy. But everybody should download that free app. It helps you start making videos right now and build your confidence so that when you start targeting the data, you're going to be that much more effective.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. So they'll go in there, they can make a video, it'll help them out with that, and then start their process, right?
That's right.
Have that done.
Yep.
Awesome. I just downloaded it myself. Thanks a lot there, Curtis. Well, yeah, so wrapping up, Curtis, what else, any final thoughts about agents out there listening that want to make it in this market? Any final thoughts there? And also at the end of that, like, how can people stay in contact with you, Curtis?
Yeah, I think, look, the industry is always going to change, whether it's a lawsuit, and we're not even done with that, right? I mean, there's new lawsuits going. There's still settled. Stephen was people are now fighting that you shouldn't disclose a co-op anywhere, even if it's off the MLS. There's all kinds of stuff being said about this, so we're not out of the woods there. And I would say a couple of things is make sure that you're with a team in a brokerage or a coach that knows what's going on in the industry to guide you through changes in your business that are inevitable. And then the other thing is, if you put your focus on listing side with the right systems and the right tools and with the right trainers, then your success is inevitable. You are going to find the success you need as long as you are going after high intent leads with relevant and current marketing ways to get their attention, and assuming you are the professional that you should be, then you are going to get those listings. And if you grow the listings, then the rest of your business will kind of follow. So if people want to get in touch with us, I would send just about everybody back to your website, habitguys.com/redx, and that way, when they click on that and they end up on our site, it cookies their computer. That way, the discount is saved for those guys, so they can always get that discount. And then reach out to us. But yeah, Curtis@redx.com if they want to reach out to me directly is the best way to get in touch with me.
Awesome. Well, Curtis, thank you so much for your time, my man.
Okay, thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me.
So we'll wrap it up here. So in closing, here is the missing piece to your business. It's accepting that when you know better, you do not necessarily do better. You do better when you change your habits. Let us help.